Good morning, Sachse. It is Friday, August 21st, 2020. It's about 8:50 in the morning, and we have a lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it. So the current temperature outside about 71 degrees, 2.66, very pleasant. Relative humidity 85%. The wind is calm. The barometric pressure 29.84 inches and steady, and that makes it feel like 77 outside, so not bad at all. Now, we're known to be in what we call the August doldrums, and I think that is about to change a little bit. And so let's get right to it and see what we're going to have in store for us. So, as I always like to look at first, the satellite picture. This is the loop from overnight hours. And again, you can see nothing much happening over North Texas, just a couple high passing clouds, nothing big. But you do see, though, we still have this northerly flow coming over us, and that will actually end up giving us a chance for rain, possibly tonight and early tomorrow morning. Not a big chance. We'll talk about that in just a second. But I just don't see that as being a big chance, but there's a chance. So we'll talk about that. All right, so let's look at the severe thunderstorm outlook for the country. And again, most of the action will be in the far northern plains, North Dakota, South Dakota. And as you can see, there is still this dry slot in East Texas. It does encompass the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, so that's why we're not expecting any rain today. But we will see some more chances for rain out in West Texas, Southeast Colorado, Kansas, and that's actually where our disturbance is going to come from tonight. So we do have a disturbance that's forecast to move from north to south from the Kansas, Southeast Colorado area across the panhandle into northwest Texas. Now, if you remember the satellite picture I just showed you, we have northerly flow, and so most of that activity is going to take it west of Dallas Fort Worth. Now, there's a caveat there. Sometimes these systems that come in overnight, they will tend to want to spread to the east more than the models are predicting they will. So that's something we'll have to watch for sure. But the bulk of the activity will be in West Texas. Now, having said all that, even if it does rain, it's not going to be a lot of rain. But as I've always said, it's August, and we will take all we can get. Now, however, the bigger story next week might be the tropics. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so let's go to this one first. So this is the map of our current storms in the Atlantic Ocean and Caribbean Sea. And as you can see, so we have two. We have Laura, Tropical Storm Laura, which just got named overnight. And then we have Tropical Depression 14, which probably will be a tropical storm later today. So 35-mile-an-hour winds is maximum sustained for 14, and Laura has maximum sustained winds of 45. So you're probably saying, hey, well, big whoop, Jeff. That's heck, we get winds stronger than that in a thunderstorm. Well, that's true, but these are expected to strengthen. So let's take a look at each one real quick. All right, so the one that would possibly directly affect North Texas is boy. Let me get my name straight here. I think this is this is this is 14, and as you can see right now, off the coast of Honduras, you have some tropical storm warnings and hurricane watches for the Yucatan Peninsula. Now, the models will forecast this to go pretty much due northwest, and if that holds, which it probably won't, but if that holds, then that would come on shore northeast of Galveston. Now, as you can see, they're predicting that wouldn't be till sometime between Tuesday morning and Wednesday morning. So a lot can change since then. And I haven't talked a whole lot about this because we don't talk about hurricanes too much in this part of the world, but this is what they call the cone of uncertainty. So right now, it extends all the way down here to you. It could be anywhere within this right now. Now, of course, that can change. So, we're up in North Texas. So right now, we're barely in the cone of uncertainty. So, hey, obviously, we don't want any storms. We don't want any damage, things like that. But we will take the rain. So something to watch over the weekend. This is a tropical depression right now. It's not forecast to become a storm until, later today, I should say. It's not forecast to be a hurricane until Monday. But that can happen quicker or it can happen not at all. So the other tropical system that, we sort of kind of want to keep an eye on is Laura. And this is way out I shouldn't say way out, but it's in the Atlantic, east of the Windward Islands. You can see that they already have some warnings out. They have tropical storm watches, I should say, not warnings. And, again, if the forecast models are right, it would come into the Gulf of Mexico as well. This is Pensacola. So if you remember from Tropical Depression 14, if the models are right, you had a landfall sometime Wednesday morning. You would have a landfall sometime here in Florida. Again, very early. Don't know if that's actually going to happen. But it would really be unprecedented if that did happen to have two landfalling tropical storms, hurricanes at the same time. Something to watch. But hey, it's 2020, right? Anything can happen. This is probably not unusual for 2020, right? So just something to keep in mind. You'll hear more about it over the weekend, and I think when Monday rolls around, you'll hear a lot about it because they will be much closer to the United States. And in our case, Tropical Depression 14, and I forget the name it's going to will be the one that we definitely want to watch because it could give us some rain. And if you're down in Houston, Galveston area, you definitely want to watch it because it could give you trouble. Okay, so with that being said, let's go back to Sachse and let's look at our forecast. And so today, not bad, 93, 95 over the weekend. Into early next week, they'll start to cool down a little bit on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then back up Thursday and Friday. Now, just real quick, not to get too much into the weeds, but you do see hey, boy, it's pretty cool midweek, and then the rest of the week is really hot, Jeff. What's going on there? Well, if the forecast models are right, then we could be on the west side of that storm, and the west side of hurricanes typically have dry air, sinking air, and sinking air heats up. Now, let's hope that forecast actually proves wrong and the storm moves closer to North Texas and we won't have to worry about being so hot. And more importantly, we get some rain. So we'll see. And the official rainfall forecast right now is in the 20 to 15% chance range, but don't put too much stock into that because it's going to change, good or bad. It's going to change, so don't worry about that. So tonight, really, what you want to watch out for is overnight into the earliest tomorrow morning. May have some rain and thunderstorm chances. Not expecting anything severe, but I would guess most people in the metroplex will not see anything. But you could, and don't be shocked if you do. Then it'll move on out, and the rest of the weekend will be sunny and hot. Which is not terribly unusual for August. It's not going to be oppressively hot, but it'll be warm, that's for sure. And then, the first part of the week, pretty calm and cool and collected, as I say, not cool literally, of course. And then it's toward Wednesday. After that, the end of the week is when we'll have to watch for the tropical systems to see what they will do and what effect, if any, they will have on North Texas. So that's something we'll definitely have to watch. So, as always, thanks for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And if something crazy happens with these storms overnight, you'll hear it first from me. If not, it'll just be the garden variety. Don't worry about it. And y'all have a great weekend. As always, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Take care, everybody.